All right.
All right, everybody. Hey, Ryan.
We got to hit the rock. Got to hit the rock song.
Well, welcome to the Krueg Show, everybody. It's Ryan Smith there on your left, and yours truly, Dan Coccimilgio. And we're live right now after the Giants defeat the Dodgers 7-4 with the long ball tonight. 5 homers, Bri.
Also, I got to start off by just announcing that I know that I'm just weirdly in my bed for once, and it's just because it's so freaking hot. I don't know if that's everywhere. I know we joke about the inland heat, but my God, it was like 107, and just there we don't have it. Our AC's broken, and this is just the coldest room is my bedroom, and I've just got the fan going. So, whew.
Yeah. Larry's taking the night off. He says it's a little too hot for him too.
It's too hot because I have a similar
or what. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but I'm sitting here in Arizona where it's probably still close to 100 right now. But sitting in the AC, so I'm cool. I heard it was
okay. I'm glad I'm doing this because it sounds like we have other people that are suffering through this right now.
Oh my goodness.
There's other people.
The good news about the Giants tonight, Rye, is they win their 4th in a row, and with 29 games to go, they're only 26 and a half out. You got to believe, right?
Wait, are they?
They're 26 and a half out. They had the chance, they still do actually, to be mathematically eliminated from the division. I just don't want to see it happen in LA. I'm tired of that. But let's give the Giants some props. We've been ripping on Farhan and Gabe, and I think rightfully so, for the better half of the last couple of months. But I really liked the Lewis Brinson trade that he made, because Brinson was a top 100 prospect years ago. He was the number 1 draft pick for the Milwaukee Brewers and was the key piece in the Christian Yelich trade a few years back when Miami sent Yelich to the Brewers. So I think the guy has potential, and I'm not saying he's going to be the guy, but let's see. Stop the platoon crap for the last 29 games, okay? You're still – well, I guess they moved to within 7.5 tonight because Philadelphia was off, and the Padres lost.
Also, we can't bury the lead. The lead here is, so I missed the last Giants live stream. God damn it, this mic sucks. Okay, I missed the last Giants game, post game we did, and I didn't do anything this weekend because I was actually in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is just an absolutely interesting place. I was visiting my uncle, moved out there. Haven't seen him for like 4 years. And it was just like a family thing. So we went to this thing that was described as kind of like a Burning Man for, but a little more adulty, a little less nudity and drugs, more just a community thing. And it definitely was pretty culty, but I was pretty down. The vibe there, it's like George R.R. Martin is like the mafia man of the town. He's like, spending all his money on art centers and whatnot. But anyway, so it's an interesting place. And they had this thing that was like a giant, it was the precursor to Burning Man, apparently. And it was just this giant, scary ass demon robot, her, androgynous, scary robot giant man. I think I did a good job explaining that. And it freaking started like moving with the music, and it was freaky, man. And apparently everyone, they just put like all of their like troubles from the year. They like, write whatever they want to kind of leave in the previous year, and they like put it inside the guy. And then even like women put like wedding dresses if they get divorced and stuff. And so I am still coming down off the peyote. I have some incredible videos, but I need to kind of go through them because, it was quite a night, and I honestly have no idea what I said. I was like rambling on for like an hour and a half trying to get some great content. And so I was just started talking about like, I just started like completely buying in, pretending like I was like one of everyone, and just like talking about like Kapler and talking about how no more Lamont Wade and just kind of really, I felt at peace with it. You know, you look at the 5 steps of grief, and I think that's what we've been all going through. It goes denial, which absolutely happened, anger, absolutely, bargaining, absolutely, depression. That's where we kind of were. And now we're at acceptance. And I am just like, you know what? It's all right. You know, in the grand scheme of things, in the heat of the moment, it's brutal. But in the grand scheme of things, you know, Gabe and Farhan, I think they're smart guys, and this was a hubris year. They did kind of earn a hubris year where they thought they could roll out this same damn lineup and all that, and it would work. Well, it emphatically didn't, and it seemed like they held on for a really long time. I'll give them a chance to be, you know, if they change things up next year, you know, I'm back in. And I'm really loving, I mean, how nice is it? And then since I did that freaking weird ceremony, pagan ritual stuff, the Giants have not lost. And I just like, you know, I'm like, I don't really care as much because football season's about to start, but
that's right.
I'm kind of getting a good vibe from this team. I told Dan, Niners. I told Dan they were going to win the series. I bet on them to win the series. I bet on them to win tonight, which is insane because all I've ever done for the past like couple of weeks and months is just bet against them. So yeah, I mean, how about now? Why am I not even remember? I mean, Lewis Brinson. Whew, he's tantalizing. I mean,
you know, I really like the potential the guy offers. He, like I said earlier, he was a top 100 prospect. Right. Here's what I tweeted just a little bit ago. I don't know what's going on with David Villar after he homered. He left the game. People are saying he's probably hurt. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But if he's out for even 2 or 3 days, you got to put him on the IL and bring up Ramos because they got enough infielders. Okay. They got JD Davis, Longoria's back playing. You got Flores, La Stella, Crawford, and Tyro. You got plenty of infielders. Let's bring up Ramos. And you know what outfield I want to see the rest of the month is this. I want to see Luis Gonzalez in left field. I want to see Brinson in center field. And I want to see Elliot Ramos in right field. And I want to see him play all 9 innings for the remaining 29 games. Forget the platoon. This is the time you start planning for 2023. And you know how the best way to do that? You see what guys have in the regular season when they're facing live pitching, top arms, and teams that are still trying to compete. You don't try and figure out your roster in spring training because in spring training, you see nobody's best stuff until, you know, guys toward the end of the spring training. So let's see what these guys can do. I've seen enough of Yaz and Wade and Slater. I know what they are. I want to see Brinson, Gonzalez, and Ramos, 3 speedsters. The kid Johnson looks like a good defensive guy. Doesn't look like a hitter at all. I mean, I think he struck out like 90% of his at bats. He's like got 1 hit, and the rest have been strikeouts. Oh, I think he popped out tonight. So, you know, might be a good little player, but he doesn't look like a guy that, to me, that is a starter. I don't want to see platoon crap, especially, you know, my outfielders. The Giants are known for their history of having really some studs in the outfield. That's what they were always known for. So let's get this thing going. You know, saying next year they don't want a platoon, right? But they're still platooning. Stop the platoon for September.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see Harrison start. I mean, it's like at least I can see direction when they make a move for a guy like Brinson. You know, they're trying to buy love. They're picking up a penny stock that has a chance that at one time it looked like it was going to the moon. So this guy's got all the tools. He's got strikeout issues. Yeah, I don't know if we can like get him to have a meeting with Will Clark, but you know, these are the kind of things where it's like, all right, if this guy doesn't succeed and he's crappy at the MLB level, that's cool, man. It doesn't really matter if we win or lose.
Let him play. Let's see what he's got. The other thing I like.
Same thing with Ramos. Bring up Ramos.
Yeah. What I like about Brinson he likes to have fun. This team needs to have some fun, some looseness. I love seeing guys loose in the dugout, having fun. Even after he hit the second home run, Crawford was kind of laughing in the dugout. It was good to see, you know.
Oh yeah, Rebel 444, Diaz instead of Listella too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Diaz is hurt, unfortunately. Otherwise, he would probably have been up.
He was also in that trade.
Was he in that same trade with?
He was in the same trade
as for Yelich.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
You know, hey, let's see what these guys got, because, you know, the Giants finish out the year, but have some fun. I want to see what the future looks like. I don't want to see the present. I don't want to see Farhan's present that he believes in, because the present, you know, although I like Yaz as a guy and he's a hustler, he's not a major league hitter. Okay.
He's a fine feller. And, you know, he is a fine bench guy that you don't pay that much. That's all he is. He's not your starting outfielder, let alone your starting, like, one of your best players outfielder.
I mean, look at Jack Semino says that I haven't watched the Giants in weeks, but I've been turning in now to watch Brinson. That's what guys do. Is you want to see guys with potential. You know, when Will Clark came up in '86, you know, the Giants, we knew they weren't going to go anywhere that year, but it was fun to watch. You just wanted to see Will Clark. You know, I mean, Brinson's a guy you want to see what he's got. He's 6'5", he's fast.
I know. So pop. Is he? I'm trying to figure out, like, what kind of outfielder he is, because they put him in center, but it seems like maybe he's had some struggles in the past, although he's shown like maybe a little bit of kind of a I can't really say Estrada anymore, but I guess a Dubon-ish thing where it's like, you know, he makes a lot of errors. He also makes some plays that nobody else can make. Like, just
I'm not sure. You know, I haven't seen enough of Brinson play to know a lot about him.
He led the league in outfield errors.
He had a great AAA season. I listened to the Dodger broadcast tonight. I decided, you know what, I'm going to go. I had the option because I'm watching on the MLB streaming, so I can either pick the Giants or the Dodgers. But something, I don't know, Krueg and Kipe were calling the game from San Francisco. And, you know, I've heard Krueg and Kipe for years and love those guys, but I just wanted to hear what the Dodgers had to say. Yeah. And Joe Davis, he's a good announcer. He's the national guy now. He's doing Fox, and he'll be doing the playoffs for Fox. And Oral Hershiser, they had a lot of good things to say about Logan Webb and his stuff. And when I think it was what's the Dodgers guy that was playing third base tonight? We gotta look. I'm not James Outman. Vargas was up, and they were saying how he was raking in AAA and stuff. And then when Webb was up, they're saying, this isn't AAA pitching you're used to seeing. And Oral was commenting on his first pitch and then his second pitch. He says, you don't see that kind of stuff, you know, where the guy masters you. And then they were talking about Brinson quite a bit. You know, and then the other thing I liked what Oral Hershiser had to say at the end of the season, he says, or at the end of the game, he was talking about these guys. He's saying Duvall, you know, a really good guy. And he was talking about his two-seam fastball and how wicked Duvall looked. And he said, you know, the Giants maybe get some free agents. They've got money to spend after this year. They'll only have about a little under $100 million committed to payroll. They were saying this is the year the Giants have to go spend. He says, and they're our rival, but we want to see the Giants actually do well because it's good for baseball. It's good for baseball. Farhan, I hope you're listening and hear this. It's good for baseball for the Giants and Dodgers to be good like last year. And hearing Oral Hershiser say that, it was like they don't want to see the Giants, even though they don't like the Giants. It's not good when the Giants are 27.5 or whatever 26 and a half behind the Dodgers with 29 to play. It's good for baseball for them to be competitive. So let's see the Giants go out, get 2 or 3 minimum star player, 2 stars and an everyday player, get those guys. But let's see what these other guys got for the rest of the month. Let's not continue to do this platoon crap, because to me, you're just wasting the month if that's what you're going to do. And get Ramos up here right away. So that's. Oh, you know what I wanted to do, Ryan?
What?
Let's do a yes, a no, or a meh on the Giants players season this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me run down the roster here, and we'll just kind of and we'll just kind of see. Let's try and look for some positives on this season. I mean, there's a few, mostly not negative, but if we started and we took the let's just go to the active.
Wait,
roster,
Dan, you know what? Let's tease that. I just got that video.
You got the guy burning?
Yeah. Or I got one of the 12 videos I took, the one at the end when it's all orange. Just to play a little bit of, and then let's freaking crush that roster game.
Okay, let's do this real quick too. While you do that, let's do this super chat here from Chiguayo. Chiguayo 56 says, Krueger, Giants can hopefully finish off on a positive note. Didn't recognize a lot of players who started at yesterday's game. We need new blood. Yes, Chiguayo. Yes, Chiguayo was at the game yesterday. Glad he got a chance to enjoy the game with his son, and he got to see a walk-off homer by Wilmer Flores. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, seriously,
so,
that is really awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
See, it's not all about winning and losing. Sometimes just put out a good product. Make us feel like you're trying, and Jock, hit that home run to cut it within to 1. Just give me something. Play some good ball.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Here is beware. It's bizarre. It's truly bizarre.
It was bizarre. Rye texted me this stuff last Friday night or Thursday night. Was it Thursday night?
Friday night.
Friday night. That's right. I was just like, I was just laughing. So
let's
see it, Ryan.
This is banana land. This is literally the 2022 San Francisco Giants. Orange and black. Burn them to the ground. We've been teasing us for far too long. Let's put this year behind us. No more Lamont Wade batting 1. Let's move on from Longoria. Yes, he's not a key part of the team going forward. Nice bench piece and reduced price. That's all there is. Farhan, Gabe, fell a little bit victim to the hubris, the natural notion after winning 107 with that squad. But, you got to really just burn it down, come back next year, ready. Yep, there it is. I'm holding on to a tear until the end of the night. The 21-21 Giants are back.
Oh, it's a classic. The singing is just. Hey, I saw somebody, Brian Lucina says that he came really close to getting on the waiting list for season tickets next year, but then he thought, nah. Hey, anybody who is serious, who really wants to get season tickets, you actually have to buy the seat license. And with the Giants, it's like $7,000 or something, I think. But you could go out on the marketplace like I did and got my seat license for less, quite a bit less. So I'm not renewing. So anybody who wants to buy season tickets, and I'll sell you my seat license for, a lot less than the $7,000 that the Giants are asking. And that was 3 or 4 years ago. So I don't even know what it is today for the seat license. But if you want to own the seats for a lot less, Maybe a group.
And
You go in with a group.
your seats are freaking excellent. Like they
I know
seriously
that's the only
are
problem.
so
I
excellent.
hate getting rid of them, because I love those seats. They're just the most convenient, and it's a great place to watch the game. Yesterday, I'm curious how Jaguayo felt. It was like 80 degrees at the ballpark, and people were just like had hats all over, getting sun drenched. Kapler had a towel over his head the whole game. Jaguayo, if you're out there listening, how was the seats? Were you totally in the shade and comfortable? Because I actually have not been to a Giants game when it's been super, super hot. All the games I've been to have been, San Francisco normal weather. So when it's 80 degrees at game time, I'd like to know, Jaguayo, how are the seats? Were you totally in the shade and pretty comfortable? So let us know. So Kyle says, where are my seats? They're in section 223, row L, which is the second to last row of the club level, right before the doors into the concessions. So, and they're on the aisle, and they're on the aisle that is actually the good aisle, because if people are walking down the steps, they're not walking in front of you. Like the guy over in the next section, in section 224 to our left, everybody who walks by obstructs his view, but not my seats. You can actually see home plate the whole
I
time.
feel like I catch on to the jokes pretty well, but I'm just realizing that Anonymous, this is just a running joke for him, because he asks this every time.
Oh yeah, look, Dan is a season ticket holder. That's right. All right, we're gonna one more
Jaguayo.
time, Anonymous, and we're gonna block you tonight. No, just kidding.
Jaguayo 56. Amazing seats in the shade. Beautiful.
Awesome.
That is that's a good Yelp review.
Yeah, that's good. The shade is very important. What's great about those seats is, like a day like yesterday, or when it's really cold and windy, the wind, it blocks the wind a lot because you're not out in the open, so you're underneath. And then the other thing is if it gets a little bit misty or rainy, you're cool. So
yeah, plus you just feel like you're so elite because you get to go to the club level.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and then you get
to go up the Alaska Airlines thingy.
So how long have I owned the seats? I've had them for 3 or 4 years now. Yeah. But we were going to do this little exercise, and let's just take a look at the guys. Yeah. We'll go through fast. Just the current guys. Current guys.
Robert Phoenix, the 11th house, says time to fire Kapler, and then yes. Robert Rothberg says Kapler stays, and then he said Kapler stays a douche. Oh man,
no, Robbie's got to go. Not a leader. So, what was that last one? Dan has
stripper poles on his level in the bathroom. Yeah, the men's.
So we'll go through the current roster, 28-man roster, and then I'll pick out some of the guys that are, not on the active, like Joey Bart, guys.
Sure.
Okay, so it's either yes, positive, meh, or not positive.
Inconclusive.
Yeah. Scott Alexander, meh. John Brebbia, I think he's been a positive this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Lewis Brinson, so far positive. I like to see more.
Oh, I'm immediately convinced.
Alex Cobb, positive. For me, I think he's been a positive.
He's been really competitive too.
He's been one of the better statistically pitchers in the league. Here's a toughie, Brandon Crawford. It's kind of been a disappointment this year. But I can't give Craw a disappointment. I'm going to give him a meh, just because.
It's almost like
I don't want to get down on Craw. He's going to come. I think he'll come back next year and have a positive year. If hopefully they surround him with a lot better talent, and that he just goes out and has something to prove in possibly his last year.
Yeah, I think for a guy like Craw, like you saw it with Posey, and hell, you even kind of saw it with Craw. You saw it with Bell. These older guys, we joke about the even years thing, but these older dudes, I think, they're kind of, they put it, if they really ball out for a season, it kind of almost takes a whole nother season to kind of rest. So I actually, it wouldn't shock me if, Belt and Crawford were kind of back to their old ways next year. But I'll tell you what, if that happens, that means, okay, it's over. We can't bring it back for another.
No, they're not going to continue to do that. So Robert Rothberg, go back to that comment. He says, Dan and Ryan, if you were
the Giants, would you actually concede? I would not concede, but I would do what I'd bring up Rom. I'd want the boys to compete. But
this is if you were a player on the Giants.
Oh, if you're a player.
I wouldn't concede as a player. I'd give it my all because I'm getting paid to do a job, and I'm also if I'm on this Giants roster, I'm probably fighting for my playoff or my baseball life. So I'd want to finish strong, but I'm also as a player pretty realistic in realizing that it's a super, super long shot to make the playoffs, and I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, and I mean it's just, I think if you're a vet out there, like what you don't want to just keep rolling out the same old mediocrity. And these guys get it. They get that there's value in discovering whether or not guys can playing younger guys. For next year, if they want to be on a winning team next year, like this is where it starts. And I feel like they've been competitive, and I don't think that maybe it's almost like the team went through the stages of grief as well. It's like, you know what, now they kind of know it's over, but you can play hard, and for guys like Lewis Brinson, this may be his last legitimate shot in the bigs. Like if this doesn't work out, it's probably now or never for him, and he's now got a month.
Guys are playing for their lives, for their careers.
And that is the one thing I'll say that is kind of positive about this regime is that you can actually point to, look, maybe it's stupid, but look at Lamont Wade, look at Yastrzemski, look at these guys that Farhan brought up out of nowhere, gave them a shot, and they took advantage of it, and they were rewarded with trust and faith and contracts and whatnot. But this is a good place to be if you're in that situation.
Yeah. So let's roll through this rest of this roster. What are we doing? Positive, negative, or meh? Right. Okay.
Yeah, like a COVID test.
Yeah.
Inconclusive.
So JD Davis, I got that as a positive.
Yeah, let's take JD Davis.
He was a really good hitter with the Mets, except this year he was struggling. That's one of the better deals Farhan's made. He got like 3 or 4 guys for Darren Ruff, and he got JD Davis, who's actually a younger, more athletic version of Darren Ruff, in my opinion. Okay, Duvall. Yes, that's
absolutely.
I like Duvall. Positive. Estrada, another. I got to give Estrada. He's
absolute good gamer.
Yeah, he's hitting over 260 with over a double digits and bombs, and just a scrappy guy. Wilmer Flores, another positive.
Yeah, stud.
Garcia, negative.
Nah.
Luis Gonzalez, I go between meh and positive. I'm undecided because he started off great, tailed off, had some really dumb rookie mistakes, but overall, I like what I see.
Yeah, he's kind of like, it's kind of like Farhan and Gabe. It's like, his season was almost 2 seasons, and for the first season, he could do no wrong, and we all agreed the way he was playing, he's probably the best player on the Giants. So, the fact that he's, kind of crashed and burned in the second half is, he's earned another year to try the same way that Farhan and get. Maybe it's only half a year, but he's back.
Yeah. Bryce Johnson, nothing, not meh, just whatever.
Nothing burger.
Yeah. Going down the list, Jacob Junis. What do you got on him?
Oh, I mean, he's another guy that was, man, one of the best storylines. But since he's come back from injury, it's been a real mixed bag. So, I mean, I think he's earned a spot on the squad next year, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
give him another
maybe
shot. He's
maybe a reduced role. Maybe we don't have to count on him in the rotation.
Yeah. Let's see. Going down this current active roster, Andrew Knapp. Nothing on him. Nothing burger again.
Nothing. He's a nap.
Tommy LaStella.
No.
Big negative. Big negative.
Seriously.
Get Dominic Leone, another big negative this year.
He's a tough one because I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be, he hasn't quite eclipsed, Tyler Rogers levels of double A play, but
Zach Littell's kind of had a meh year.
Meh.
Yeah, just not even really.
Rebel 444. Listella makes me yak like MF. Leon to Saturn.
Evan Longoria. I'm not going to go negative. I'm not going to go positive because he's actually played good when he's been in the lineup, when he's been out there. The Dodgers announcer said tonight, this is his best offensive season in 9 seasons, but he hasn't been out there enough.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of say, meh,
meh, total meh.
Junior Marte, nothing big, nothing good, nothing horrible.
Yeah.
Another meh. Jock Peterson. I'm going to go slight positive.
Yeah. I mean, you can again, another guy.
21 homers. He had that horrible 2-month streak where he didn't hit a home run.
And to be honest, it seems like he is just a guy that really feeds on competitiveness and being in big games and big spots. And, that's what he was for us in the first half of the year.
Yeah.
But, it's like as the team died, so did his bat. So
yeah,
I'd give him another shot.
Here's your man, Tyler Rogers. Suspense.
I mean, positive? he's been so bad that but he was great last year. Is one of the annoying things is if you play MLB The Show, they're very quick to change or very slow to change people's ratings. So, you got guys like Kershaw are 97 still. Longo's too high, but Tyler Rogers is their highest rated bullpen guy, and it's just
he's got to go.
It'd be great to trade him in division to somebody.
Tampa Bay today DFA'd Matt Wisler, former reliever with the Giants during, I don't know if it was the 19 season or the COVID season, but he was terrible.
He needs Larry to evaluate Rogers.
Medically? Larry's already made it pretty clear on Rogers and said that Rogers is a 5 up, 5 down guy. You don't put him in the game unless you're 5 runs up or 5 runs down. You don't put Tyler Rogers in a close game because it will suddenly not be a close game. So,
you know what Tyler Rogers is? Tyler Rogers is a spare tire. You can take him on the road at a very slow, 45 on the freeway for 30 miles, but you don't put him in if it's raining and it's a 1-run game, basically. If it's raining and there's people driving like maniacs on the freeway, you are going to die. You're going to die. So we need some more true tires, and he's not one.
Yeah. He's I mean, but getting back to Matt Wisler, Tampa Bay released him, and his ERA is under 3. He's in the mid-2s or something for a second year in a row. But I guess they're seeing some kind of trend and not liking getting ready to go into the playoffs, so they just let him go. So interesting, because he used to throw the slider 60% of the time. Now he's throwing it 90% of the time, and he's still striking guys out with it. Crazy. David Villar. I'm kind of a meh.
I'm meh. I mean,
nothing great. He nothing
hit a crap ton of home runs, but
he had a nice one tonight to right field and got another hit. He was 2 for 2, and then he gets hurt. Typical Giant season, right?
Oh God, yeah. Just enough.
Nick J. Spare tires can go 55 miles per hour, which is 5 miles per hour faster than Rogers throws. Oh my good. That'd be an interesting little roll a tire down, a spare tire, one of those skinny ones down the road, make it go like 60, 70 miles an hour. See if Rogers can beat it with a throw.
Apparently VR's not hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that they substitute. Maybe that's what the Dodgers announcers were speculating.
I don't know. That's a weird thing. You go up 6-2, the guy's 2 for 2, and you took him out because he was at first base. Why not move him over to third base? He's hot. Jeez. I mean, if he's not hurt and Kapler pulled him for that, give me a break. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, if a guy just hit his first home run since like his first week he got called up, went down to the minors and, was pretty down because he got sent down, comes up, struggles a little bit, and then gets a hit and then a home run. And if you sat him down after that, man, you are just, I would just be livid. I mean, I'm not going to judge that. I'm going to say he's got a slight strain somewhere. Like maybe he felt something in an oblique and they precautionary took him out. There's no way Kapler's that stupid to pull him after he went 2 for 2 and hit a home run.
Maybe he's just like, okay, all right, VR hit that. Okay, let's just get him out of the game. Let's try and ride this momentum. Now that's giving Kapler way too much credit.
Oh my goodness. If he took him out, guy's playing first base. What did he do that was wrong tonight? He had a ball that was hit to him. Webb, he went and got a nice scoop of it, tossed it to Webb for the out. And the only other play was Longoria's bad throw to first. Maybe he's thinking that VR was positioned wrong on the bag and that maybe he should have been center in the bag instead of one side, because he was kind of playing to the inside the baseline, and so any wide throw he couldn't get. But come on, if that's the case, geez, just kill the kid's confidence.
I would just love if, like, somehow some insider whistleblower in the Giants organization just like released a tape. And like it turned out that, it turned out that Farhan was like in the back with Gabe, and they're just, before every decision, they've got a magic 8-ball and they're just shaking it up. Should I pinch hit here? Should I put in Tyler Rogers? Should I eat this cake? No.
Oh gosh. Yeah. If VR's not hurt, that's just, talk about just messing with a guy's psyche. He struggles and then he gets 2 hits and hits his first home run, and he hits it to the opposite field where he was. No, come on. Don't tell me that he's not hurt. I would feel better if he's got a slight muscle, strain or something, just knowing that Kapler didn't take him out because, and that was, what inning was that? The 4th inning. It was the 4th inning.
Dan, see, what you're failing to understand is that the low sample size of just one game, taking him out, there's no such thing as momentum. It is a fallacy.
Don't tell me he took him out because of that. I don't believe it. Are you still convinced? Oh, what's this? What?
Oh, sorry.
Dan Ryan, one other question. Are you still convinced Kapler lost the clubhouse? I think so. I think the Giants are probably at this point, just having a loose time, and there's no stress on them now because they're probably just ignoring Kapler, and just the guys are just having fun. They're just getting like, you know what? We got 30 games now, 29. Let's just go out, play loose, have fun, and we're that much closer, some of us, to getting the heck out of here, getting away from Kapler.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going down the list here. We were on VR. Lamont Wade Jr., that's obvious negative. Right? You double green.
Unless he wants to, how much are we paying him? Is it?
Who's that?
Lamont Wade. Yeah.
Not much.
Paying him nothing?
You got to make him earn a roster spot in the spring.
Yeah. He's got to compete.
You can't plan on him being your main guy. Oh, I skipped over the big ace, Carlos Rodon. Yes,
I'd take him
biggest
back,
positive,
man.
probably one of the biggest positives the Giants have had in years.
I know, and we have such low self-esteem, right? That we like don't even want. We want to say no to him before he can say no to us.
I heard he said he was interviewed the other day after he came out, and he said the Giants have some of the best fans in baseball.
Oh man,
and he sounds like a guy who likes it here. So I don't know.
I mean, if Rodon says that he loves San Francisco, I could totally be convinced to. I mean, the problem is though, it'll lock him up long term.
Look at the year Gosman's having though, best in the league in
like his walk rate was crazy.
Just having a great year. Okay, we went through Rodon, Rogers, Villar, Wade, Logan Webb. Yes, thumbs up.
Oh yeah. Dan,
Austin wins.
Dan, have you seen Gladiator?
With
Russell Crowe?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh,
I gotta go see that. Emperor Commandus.
Or Emperor Commodus. Your failures are nothing. He's like, yeah, all your faults reflect on me as a father. I failed you, so. And then he just kills his dad, and then becomes
Oh my goodness. Okay,
the
last
Chris Bryant did say the same.
Austin wins. Oh my goodness. Where are you at on wins?
Oh, get him the hell out. Unless he's like somehow is like this clubhouse guy.
He seems like a clubhouse guy.
He does seem like a bit of a clubhouse guy.
Guys seem to like him, and he seems to he's kind of one of those blue collar really guys that, to me, I don't think he's, to me, he's your backup in the minors and called up when you need him. Another catcher, Mikey Yastrzemski, just not a good year, not positive.
Oh, this year. Have you heard this nickname, Winnie the Pooh?
No.
Frost and Winds.
Oh,
Winnie the Pooh. By the way, Winnie the Pooh's intellectual property or whatever. You know how like Shakespeare, like anybody, it's like for public domain, like anybody can do Shakespeare productions. So now Winnie the Pooh just became for public consumption, and there's now a horror movie coming out that looks just straight up disturbing, where like Christopher Robin left them and they like became ravenous like animals, and then like he comes back and they like eat him, and it's oh god, it looks crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got now we're gonna go the guy that Alex Young, meh leaning negative. Not much for him. Okay, on the DL, the 60-man DL for the Joey Bart. That's a positive. That turned into a positive.
Huge. Fozzie. I cannot take a shot. It is. I'm so dehydrated already.
Joey Bart turned around. Brandon Belt, tough. Bad year, Brandon. Not good. And who else is on the other guys that?
Sorry, anonymous.
Here's a disappointment. Tomorrow, the Giants are going to go with a bullpen game. And they've got Sean Jelly down at Sacramento, their 2018 second-round draft choice. To me, if you're not going to bring up Sean Jelly, but you bring up Junior Marte for a bullpen game tomorrow, then when are you ever going to pitch Sean Jelly? To me, that's a major, major disappointment, another major miss of an early round draft choice. If the guy's not ready to pitch in a game in September, in a meaningless game when you're out of the race, to see what your second round draft pick's got, and you put him on the 40-man roster specifically, and he's been brought up, twice this year and pitched an inning or two in relief? What the heck are the Giants doing?
Didn't do bad or anything.
17 number one draft pick, Elliot Ramos. Nothing to be seen of. Sean Jelly, your 2018 second round draft pick. Now, these are before Farhan, so we can't get on Farhan for that. But what are these guys doing? What are the Giants doing? Are they just going to DFA these guys, or are they going to see what they got? I mean, you're not in a pennant race. Let's see what they got. I mean, stranger things have happened. Guys come up and
what I'd like is if we just had I want to just collect all the freaks and just put them out there. Like, I just want freak show athletes. Like,
just give me freak athletes.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Get Jelly up there. Let's have a freaking 7-foot pitcher. Let's have a 6'5" outfielder with unbelievable power. Like, that's
a 6'4" catcher,
6'4" catcher with crazy power. Like, that's what we
Bring
want.
in Judge, another 6'7" outfielder.
Just we literally become the San Francisco Giants. It's like 20% of the 6'6" plus population is on the team. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Just to
Kapler's he's just applying, cocoa
trade for
butter.
Alex Vaughn at third base, another 6'5".
Oh guys. Get that guy from the Pirates, the shortstop. That's like 6'7".
Josh Bell at first.
Yeah,
we just
and then just maybe Trey Turner, just the fastest guy. Like, just have some superheroes with different powers.
Yeah,
Kapler's just oiling all of their arms up with arm butter, coconut arm butter, like
oil,
like Dwayne Johnson in the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah. Let's just get. Mercedes says, Jelly just needs 4 more years in the minors. Dan, be patient. Renew your season tickets now. Giants ticket office.
Dan, if the Giants season ticket office just called you up and said, all right, look, Dan, we're going to be honest with you. We have no guarantees that we're going to be any more competitive next year. We're hoping Bart improves. We're definitely, some of these young guys we're really hoping on. We're actually going to try and bring back Rodon. But here's what I will guarantee you, Dan. You are going to have a roster full of absolute freak shows, and they are going to be all just, you've never seen such heights at such positions. We're going to have a 5'4" pitcher. We're going to have a 6'8" outfielder, and you're just going to see stuff you've never seen before. Like, you would be like, where can I sign up?
I'd say, give me a 4'11" pitcher, and I want to see Yeah, no, I tell you, the Giants would have to make me an offer I couldn't refuse for me to renew. They would have to give me 2-for-1 free parking pass for all 81 games, transferable, and $50 a game in concessions. $50 in-game concession that I could use, and I would renew for half.
I like this idea of, like, just the Giants. They open it up to barter with the season ticket holders. It's like,
open up to barter, man. I'll give you a living trust. I'll give everybody in the office a living trust valued at $1,500. I'll give everybody gets a living trust. What else could I give them? I give them an annuity, but they can get that from everybody. But I give them a living trust for nothing.
No, negotiating maybe
attorney to
negotiate, maybe throwing a first pitch out. Maybe travel to the New York Yankees opening game next year. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I could do that if they throw that in. I definitely want the free parking. I want the concessions, and I'd like to be one of those ball dudes for like 5 games.
Yes,
down the line
with additional incentives built in, like maybe every time you make a play, you get to add a game or something like that.
Yeah, like if I catch one on the fly, or if I make a diving stop. Why do we have the oldest ball dudes? Like, every team I see, they got these young chicks that can catch. Or
Dan, that is, that's also part of it, is that we need to get some freaks be our ball dudes.
Yes,
some freak shows.
Yeah, we need
bodybuilders. I'm 6'9", 292 pounds, and they are just diving everywhere. They're like,
make the ballpark fun.
they're just taking liners just straight off the chest and just wearing it, and it's just
put that like old chest protector that the umps used to hold. When I used to umpire before they had the inside protect, we had the big pad that we had a strap behind it. We held and it covered your whole body, and it was like 4 or 5 inches of foam, of dense foam. It would just pop right off, you know.
That'd be satisfying.
You really felt safe umpiring with that thing because your whole arms were behind this big, massive. It was like a shield, but it was.
Did you ever find yourself afraid of the ball, either as a player or an umpire? Like, dang, this is getting kind of sketchy.
Not as an umpire, never as an umpire, but only one time when I was facing this guy that was so wild and he was fast, and it was like you just had no idea where the heck the ball was coming.
There was always the kid in Little League, like that was maybe you're playing in the league where you're the lower age. And there's one that's the older
9 and you're facing the 12-year-old.
There's some guy with a mustache that's super big and fat, and he's just throwing wild, and you're just a little shook.
Yeah. When you're 9 and you're facing 12-year-olds, it's a little intimidating. I got to get some water. I got my mouth's dry. Right understandable.
Now. Yeah, I just chugged that water. I feel way better. But yeah, and then also, I think a lot of people out there feel the same way as me. Probably a little afraid because it is a bit of a man card. You kind of get my man card when I admit this, but I missed a year of sports due to injury and came back and I wasn't sure if I wanted to play high school baseball or not. But then I was like, you know what? I'll play. My buddies are playing. And the second curveballs, I was kind of okay with 80 miles an hour fastball, whatever. But like once curveballs get introduced, I was pretty scared of the ball because the curveballs looked like they were coming straight at you. And then I just never figured it out. So, yep. Just had to hang them up after that.
Baseball's, it was a lot easier when I went to Babe Ruth because we went straight. It was pretty weird because in Little League, you got 60-foot bases, right? 60-foot bases, 45-foot mound. When you go to Babe Ruth, it's this huge jump. It's Major League Baseball, 90 feet bases and 60-foot 6-inch mound. You just, as a 13-year-old, So once you're up there at 13, you're playing 13 through 15. Ball's not coming in that fast from 60 feet, is it? And you feel like you got a lot more time. But I've noticed as they've come up with, we used to call it Pony League, was in the between Babe Ruth and Little League, where they had 75-foot bases and a 50-foot mound. I think it was either 70 or 75. But it's weird to jump from Little League. When you got to keep your foot on the bag, and you cannot take your foot off the bag until the ball crosses home plate.
Wow, I forgot about that.
But in Babe Ruth, all of a sudden, you're like taking leads and you guys are trying to pick you off and you're stealing and it's like that run from first to second feels so long because
that's the
15,
that's
it's pretty.
That's the other thing I'm not afraid to admit because baseball. I was a good baseball player when I was in elementary school and middle school, but once they started, like, I kind of just hated like signs and like having to learn all the signs. And,
the signs.
It's just like, okay, I'll learn I'll learn plays in basketball, like, because at least I'm involved. I don't want to do homework out there and remember all that stuff. And I'm always second guessing myself, and I hate bunting. Oh God, the indicators kept getting more complicated. 50-foot just a watchtower.
I remember when we go through signs, it was always okay. It's I can't even remember. It was like 12, 13, 14, but it's like, okay, second time after the indicator is tip of the nose or something. So the guy's got,
Oh, that's smart. Anonymous says, I introduced number cards when my son was 11. Kids like that much better. Yeah, you know what? It would have been way better if they did like the thing college football teams do, where like, you put up a picture of like, Kim Kardashian and that means a play, that means something. And then you put up a picture of I don't know, Pasquale, and that means steal or whatever it is for the inning. That would have been easy. That would have been way better. Instead,
The
like
Pasquale is you just stick out your sausage.
You just hold the sausage and you let it get barbecued by a baseball.
Just bunt. It's a bunt, man. Just lay the sausage down.
Yeah, and then also, like, for me, well, I feel like also I had baseball coaches that were like total hardos, and it's like, all right, bro, you're freaking, you know, in hindsight, I thought they were such adults, but then it's like, all right, you're like a 27-year-old dude, like coaching club baseball, and like you're just breaking out like all the crazy signs and stuff from I played college ball. And
look who we have in the chat. We have somebody named Completes.
No,
somebody
Kim K equals loose sign. I know Kim K is cheat a little more off the bag.
We got somebody going with their moniker is Completes.
Put up a butthole and the kids go. That just makes sense. Arm card. That's
hey, anonymous. Do you take your kid to the games with your season tickets?
Who's the best free agents you go after then?
Oh, me? I got that nailed down, Val. Okay,
right,
I'm going after several. My first guy, well, I'm going after both Judge and Trey Turner because I want the athleticism and the speed, and I want the power with Judge. So I overpay for Turner. I tell him he's the shortstop of the future. I sign him for 5, maybe even 6 years. I tell him that he's going to play second base for 1 year, but that I'm going to guarantee him 50 games at shortstop, you know, because I'm going to rest Brandon enough to give Trey Turner enough games at shortstop to keep him happy at almost a third of the season. And yeah, a new brunch menu would like some free samples.
I could see them coming out with like horribly disgusting, like some sort of egg situation, and it's just
could
like,
you imagine egg?
How old are those eggs?
Oh gosh, what would have to be in those to keep them from just rotting?
Oh
gosh,
that's great. Yeah. No swung pun. No.
So,
by the way, wait. This I forgot. I got to put this information out before it escapes my mind. So that was another thing in New Mexico. We were like going into a little, Pueblo village, and they at one point, we got stuck in there with like an old lady who like thinks that she lives in the 1800s and lives on site, and she's all, dressed up, and it's cool. But she was going over all the different like patron saints and painter. Okay. All of a sudden they were like, and then the patron saint of, I'm like spacing out, but then they're like the patron saint of, it was like, I think it was cooking. It was like cooking and feasts is San Pasquale. And then I was like, oh my God, Saint Pasquale he literally is the patron saint.
The feast.
He's named after the patron saint.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is.
No, I bet he. No, I actually.
I bet he is. That's how Italians are.
Yeah,
seriously. That's how Catholics and Italians are. No, getting back to the guys I'm going after. I'm going after Judge. I'm going after Turner. I'm going after, even though he's out now with an injury, Andrew Benettini, left fielder for the Yanks. Adam Frazier would not be bad at second base. Probably get a pitcher or two. I might even go after Justin Verlander on a 1-year deal, or even Jacob deGrom if he's willing to come out. I don't think you get either one of them, but and then I would try and go after a trade for Ohtani as well. I would just change the complete dynamics of this team overnight, and I would have Ohtani,
Judge
Turner,
Ohtani.
Just all of a sudden have the top guys, and just you know what? It's the Giants can afford it. So what if they have a $225 million payroll, and you're top heavy, you got the rest of the guys that Farhan picks off the scrap. If you're going to continue to do that, you can have some stars, but let's. Crawford's gone after next year. That's $16 million, right? That's gone. Longoria is probably gone. Listella will be gone after next year. They can afford. They're going to have nothing on their payroll after 2023, 24. So
It's true.
Go ahead and get those guys.
I absolutely agree. And also here is confirmation. This is funny. There's a place called San Pasquale's Kitchen, and in the bio it says, I was first introduced to San Pasquale during a visit to Santa Fe. He's considered the patron saint of cooks and kitchens. And look at him. He's got a fork and a spoon. The Saint Pasquale. Oh, that's great. I'm Dan. I'm so there with you on that, though. It's kind of okay. This is kind of the question in my mind is like, we unfortunately don't have the cachet that like the Dodgers or the Yankees do right now, just because we're going to be coming off a down season, and we don't really have any superstars. But what do you think about like what the Patriots did, where last year they knew they needed weapons? And they kind of just said, okay, these are normal. This is not good long-term, but we need to get weapons around Mac Jones. All right, we're going to pay too much for Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar and Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. And, or this year, the Jaguars are like, you know what? I know this is going to bite us. We're going to pay Christian Kirk a bunch. We're going to bring people in. And, the Giants may unfortunately have to do something like that, where they kind of overpay a bunch of guys that may kind of come back to bite us in a couple of years. But look, Farhan, you don't have. I don't think he has the leash that he's operating as if he has. So
he's got to make He's got to make big moves this year. The one positive of keeping Farhan and not firing him right now, I would say, is this. He's going into the last year of his contract. It's make or break. He's got to have a huge offseason.
Yeah, he's like Lamar Jackson this year.
Yeah, he's got to make trades. He's got to make. He's the who was the guy with the Bears GM, and they went and traded for Fields, but it still got him fired though.
Oh yeah, what the heck was that guy's name? I'm gonna try and not look it up.
I know someone will come up with it in the chat.
I've heard people.
I got the name, can see his face. Younger guy, Chicago Bears GM.
All right, screw it. I'm looking it up.
Looking him up. Yeah, I know it's driving me nuts, but.
No. I swear to God, I didn't look it up. Ryan Pace.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Farhan makes some desperate moves.
Today's lineup: Villar, Krueger, Trout.
So a couple of people asked, or maybe it was Rebel 4444 was asking who would trade. Who would trade for Devers, Rafael Devers of Boston, third baseman, or for Ohtani? Now, I wouldn't give up the farm for Ohtani because he's in a walk year, free agent year. So you got to be assured of signing him, but you don't want to give up a ton. But it's probably going to take a Luciano and another guy or so, maybe two or three guys. And I would be willing to do that because I think the Giants could sign Ohtani. He seems like a West Coast guy, and Giants might have had a shot at him had the DH been in the National League when he signed with the Angels, because that was the thing. He wanted to play, and so the DH.
I always felt like, and I hope this doesn't come off in the wrong way. Please, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but I always kind of thought that the Giants would land one of these, Japanese players that came over here, like one of these big Japanese stars. I know the Mariners,
it's because San Francisco's a big has a big community of Japanese and Asian
huge Asian community
yeah.
and Japanese community, and it just feels like that's cool. It's like when what was his name for the Dodgers?
The pitcher.
Did the 30 for 30 on him. Yeah. And it's like,
oh, wow, gosh, why am I drawing his blank on his name? Well, they had Hideo Nomo.
No. The Hispanic Dodgers. I
Hispanic or Japanese?
Hispanic.
Oh, Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, Valenzuela.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Well,
So
it's a huge Hispanic population and community in LA. I mean, Fernando Mania was huge.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that would be pretty cool, man. It's almost like it also I know, Chinese, not Japanese, but it also was like, man, it's a real shame that we let Jeremy. It would have been fun if like Jeremy Lin
with the Warriors.
Yeah, because he was with the Warriors. It would have been fun if he
grew up
did
in the Bay Area too, or wouldn't he go to college?
I know.
Where did he go to college? Stanford?
Harvard, I think.
Oh, that's right. He went to Harvard, but he's from
the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's right. He went to I think it was Harvard or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's culture is important for a lot of guys. It's one of the reasons Suzuki went to Chicago. He didn't like the culture in San Francisco. So
yeah,
it's a shame that, not to get political, but the city of San Francisco needs to clean up its issues on the streets and start. San Francisco is one of the most beautiful cities in the entire world, and they're ruining it by just not, maintaining it and doing the job of what leaders are supposed to do, and that's protect and keep your city safe and keep it, clean. I mean, my goodness, I've been to Singapore 2 or 3 times, and it's just like, you just don't worry about anything in Singapore. My wife and I would just go out, we get something to eat, we'd be hungry, restaurants are open, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you can walk the streets if you just want to take a walk. There's just nothing out there that you have to worry about. It's too bad.
I mean, and I will say, I lived in LA during the pandemic for 2 years, and I mean, it's as shocking as it may seem, I actually think LA is even a little worse. So
yeah, LA is pretty bad.
It's tough. I mean, it's a place you want to be. If you're homeless, for sure.
Yep. Jaguayo 56 donates $2 and says, "How do the A's always hit on prospects every year?" I don't know, Jaguayo. I don't know what it is with the Giants and why they just don't have prospects. The A's have had prospects year after year after year.
I know.
And, the A's, I mean,
they can't even hold on.
Even when they were not winning World Series and the Giants were, the A's had some exciting players to watch, and always had guys coming up. And what is it with the Giants farm system that they haven't had anybody since Buster Posey as a position player to get excited about?
I know.
I know we had Pablo. We had, pitching. We had, we had the great 3, Mad Bum, Kane, and Lincecum.
Facts.
Had some bullpen guys, but we had. I'm thinking of our position players that came through the farm system besides Posey and Pablo. I mean, we had a couple good years of Panic, Crawford, and Belt. But guys that are like really, really exciting to watch.
I mean, what's funny talking about the Freaks is like that was Tim Lincecum's freaking nickname. He was the Freak.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I know. It was so cool to see Lincecum. What I want to see for the Giants, I wish I could almost be like director of marketing or over the.
I thought you were going to say for the next Marvel movie.
I know Mario Alioto does a good job there, but I wish I could introduce things like I want excitement. I love what the Mets are doing when they bring in Edwin Diaz and the crowd just goes nuts to the walk-up
okay,
song.
Wait. We have to talk about that because how ballsy was that? You really have to give it to the Mets. They freaking brought the dude out in
Timmy Trumpet
in a 1-run game versus the Dodgers.
Yeah.
If that goes wrong,
yes,
easily could have. They're cursed for the whole year.
Yeah, but it was so electrifying, man.
It was electric. Dan, they said that it's coming back in the playoffs. And,
I have been giving my Dodger friend crap. I've been sending him that cut from YouTube.
Yeah,
I send it to him almost like every week, and I say, because he gives me crap about the Giants season, and I just send this back, and I say, I'm going to send this to you every year, every day between October and April for the next season, and you're going to, because the Mets, I believe, will beat the Dodgers in a series. And here's something that they said tonight on the Dodgers broadcast. The Braves are within 1 game of the Mets, right, for the division title. And they said they want to see the Mets win the division because the Mets would get a bye and they would face the Dodgers in a 7-game series versus a 5-game series. If the Mets end up in the wild card and win the wild card round, they'll play the Dodgers. Can you imagine a 5-game series with Scherzer and DeGrom? Oh, gosh.
And Diaz
all you gotta do is win 3.
I know.
I mean,
no,
you're going to see those guys. You're going to see those guys pitch. One of them is going to pitch 2 games. One of them is going to pitch game 5, right? One's going to go game 1, game 2, and then if there's a game 5.
Here's the problem, Dan. It all sounds theoretically impossible for them to lose that until game 2 when they roll out Timmy Trumpet or whatever his name is, and Diaz blows a game, and all of a sudden every Mets fan in the stadium, you can feel that they all think that the season's now cursed and that they blew it.
But if it's game 2, if the Mets are in the wild card spot in the 4th position, they would be playing first 2 games in LA, and then games 3, 4 in Mets, and then game 5 would be back in LA. But the first round this year is kind of interesting because the first round, it's going to pit 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. And the lower seed, it's a 3-game series, right? And all 3 games are the higher seeds at the park. So no travel. It's just 3 straight games, 3 straight days. So let's say game seed 3 is going to be the Cardinals, okay? So they're probably going to play the Padres or the Phillies. Whoever finishes the 6th seed could be the Brewers if they sneak in, and Robert Rothberg might think it's still going to be the Giants. But but the 3 seed will play 6, and all 3 games will be in St. Louis.
That I don't even know how to feel about it, but
I kind of like it. It's better than a 1-game sudden death.
It's the newness of it. I mean, also, Dan, think about, okay, this is why I kind of don't like it, is because of sour grapes. Like, imagine last year if we knew that. It's just like, that's such bullshit. It's like it could have gotten to a point where it's like, all right, we can take a mental break. We don't have to be freaking peaking for the last 3 months of the year in order to avoid a 1-game playoff. I mean,
did you have a in your gut when the Giants were battling the Dodgers last year that whoever won the division was going to lose in the playoffs to the other team? I felt that for a month.
I felt that exact same way, and I felt that exact same goddamn way about the freaking last year in football. I thought, no effing way. We pulled that game out of our ass.
We beat the Rams, and we're going to come back and lose.
And then I was like, oh no, if we have to face the Rams, it's going to be an entire week of people talking about how the Niners own the Rams and how Jimmy G never loses to the Rams.
Pulling for Tampa.
I know.
And Tampa tied it up after being down 3 touchdowns, and they come roaring back. And then that bomb to Cooper Kupp at the end of the game. And like, oh man. I really thought if I was just looking so forward to Jimmy versus Brady. And
it's interesting. So we had for everyone in the chat, we had Steve Weish earlier doing an interview. We actually did a pre-recorded because we're now going to start doing that a little bit with these football interviews, just because we're not sure if they're going to be featured in like the podcast or not. And, we feel bad if we're doing a live stream and you guys are asking comments and like we can't really, we can't really put them up on the screen and answer them because, it kind of kills the flow of just an audio only podcast. So yeah, so I think we'll probably end up releasing that maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. But he was bringing up how, it's not even close. The Rams have the most talent in the league. And, I really wanted to just be like disagree. But then, I was like, wait, okay. Cause I think of the Niners as the most loaded team, but because of Trent and Nick Bosa and Kittle and Fred Warner and Debo, Trent Williams, like all the most important positions essentially. But then all of a sudden I was like, wait, okay, Ramsey, that's pretty good. Kupp, that's pretty good. Aaron Donald, that's pretty good. And then they just got Bobby Wagner and Allen Robinson, and they have Matt Stafford at quarterback. So, I'm not wishing injury, but, it would be nice if the fortunes flipped.
Oh, I heard your stat line. I think last night when you were on with Dieter and
what
you
do
were
you think
mentioning
about
the injury stat line? Like Shanahan's been like in the top 5 every year.
He's been like in the top 5, even like first, like once or twice in injury.
Oh my goodness, that's unbelievable. And the Rams are.
Yeah, and last year the Rams were number 1, and they freaking won the whole thing.
Injuries play a huge part in who wins and who doesn't. So
absolutely,
yeah. So I'm kind of pretty excited though about this whole thing with the playoffs this year. Last year when you think about, like you said, it stunk because the Giants got screwed. But the Giants have been screwed twice in baseball. In 1993, they won 103 games, lost 59, and the Braves won 104. They were both tied at 103 and 58 on game 162. Braves win, Giants lose to the Dodgers. Giants get eliminated. The following year, because of that, or the next year, they institute the wild card because it's like, hey, that stinks. You won 103 games and you didn't make the playoffs. Now, last year, Giants won 107, and they got to face the wild card with the team with the second best record instead of facing reseeding like the NFL does. NFL. I love how the NFL actually seeds the playoffs and then reseeds them after the first round, and like, oh well. The NBA doesn't do that. So if one plays 8 and 8 happens to knock off 1, instead of 8 playing 2 the next round, they play 4, or the winner of 4 or 5. And so I just kind of like the reseeding because it just makes more sense to me. But yeah, so the Giants have been the outcome of 2 changes in baseball. So now they no longer
wait. So I'm sorry. Do you hear that ad?
No.
Oh, good. That's annoying. What the heck?
I hear something.
Whatever.
Anyway, last year, Kyle the Giants and Dodgers beat themselves to a pulp. They both flamed out.
I know.
Totally Scherzer. I got a new name for
Oral
Max
Scherzer.
Scherzer. Oral Scherzer. Max Scherzer was toast. He came in to save that game in the ninth against the Giants, and then he was wiped out and couldn't even pitch against the Braves after one game or something. He was just dead arm.
And it doesn't it feel like that always happens to. I mean, I'm sure everybody feels that way, but it just feels like every year a Bay Area team's good. They're always like in the best division and the best conference, and it's always so damn hard. Harbaugh Niners, easily the second best team in the NFL, but they have the best team in the NFL, apparently, number one. They're going 12-4 and making the goddamn wild card. Meanwhile, the Patriots get to beat up on 3 teams that were shitty for a decade. And
it's that's one thing I like about next year. Baseball is actually going to a pretty balanced schedule where the Giants will play everyone within their division only 13 times instead of 19. So in a way, it's good. We won't have to see the Padres and the Dodgers. That's 12 games we don't have to play against them, which is good. While there's so much better at this point. So that's good. And then they play every other team in the National League 6 games, and they play 4 different teams 7 games. And then they play everybody in the American League 3 games, except they play 4 against the A's. So everybody has the same schedule. So it's going to be a lot fairer going forward with what they call a balanced schedule.
Yeah, and I felt like I think Larry maybe was hating on it, but I don't know. I can't. Me maybe as a younger person, I'm not as married to the sanctity of baseball, and in a world where UCLA is playing in the Big Ten, I'm okay with playing the Yankees.
Sports has all changed. The old sports. I mean, if you ask me, if I had a preference and if I was the commissioner and I had the sole authority, I would love to see no interleague play. I loved the old National League play, and then you play the American League in the World Series, and you never see them, and it's just kind of like that's just the way I like it.
I honestly I wouldn't be surprised if college football moved more towards this kind of model, and away from even just the way things are right now. Like I could see the SEC. Let's say the SEC adds 2-4 more teams. Let's say they add Clemson, and then let's say the Big Ten brings in Notre Dame and Oregon and Stanford, and maybe they throw Calabone, and then we just basically have every team that matters, and they just play. Both teams just play each other, and it's just we really just find out who the best teams are. Yeah, it's.
Did you hear college football is looking to go to a 12-team playoff now?
Oh, of course.
I don't know when it's going to take place. A few more years, probably.
3 or 4 years.
Why does it take so long?
It always takes so long. I think it's because of TV contracts. I guess.
I guess, but man, it seems like they should be able to get it done in 2 years.
They probably would prefer to. They're probably like, we're not doing that until you all renegotiate with us, because now we've got 12 teams, which means more stuff. You're going to have to break out the pocketbooks. We're going to get Amazon involved in the bidding war.
12-team playoffs, 6 from the SEC and 6 from the Big 12.
Exactly.
The Big 10. I mean, they call it the Big 12 is
Big 10.
The Big 10, which is like it's funny because the Big 12
it's already
had 10 teams for years, and the Big 10 had 12 teams. So it was like, what? How does that make sense? You got the Big 12 with 10 and the Big 10 with 12. But, it's kind of weird. It all broke up kind of when the Big 12 started it when losing to Oklahoma,
Yeah.
Like Oklahoma, Nebraska. Nebraska's the one that left first to the Big 10. Nebraska went to the Big 10, and then, that rivalry that was always Thanksgiving Day right around there, Nebraska, Oklahoma. And then you have now you've got Oklahoma is leaving the Big 12 to go to the SEC, right?
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Who else left? Texas, right?
Oklahoma and Texas. Oh, wait, no. Oklahoma didn't leave. Wait. Why am I screwed up? Wait, yeah. Oklahoma left.
Didn't they?
Wait, Bama's playing Texas this week.
It's so confusing.
Yeah,
what's going on?
I'm blaming the heat.
And then SC, UCLA going to the
Big Ten.
Big Ten, which is Michigan, Ohio State.
Okay, Texas and Oklahoma are in two years from now.
Yeah, and they're going to the SEC.
Yeah, and then you know what really kind of pisses me off too is like, what in the F did Rutgers do to deserve this money? Like, they are just getting carried along. At least in Northwestern, I can kind of rationalize. Rutgers is in New Jersey. Rutgers does not feel like the Big Ten. Rutgers is not a top tier program. They're not a top tier academic school. What the hell did they do to clutch it in there?
And where's Miami now? What league is Miami in?
They're ACC.
Okay, they're ACC with Clemson.
Cristobal.
Yeah, from Oregon, right?
Clemson. I bet under 13.5 Georgia Tech tonight, which was it's a stressful number. That's basically saying they can't get 2 touchdowns. I bet the under 6.5 in the first half, so no touchdown in the first half. Ended up clutching both. Clemson, they've got to switch quarterbacks, but they might have the best defense in the country.
Let's see, what was the final in that one?
They put up some garbage points later in the game, which makes me
41-10. Okay, 41-10. Yeah. So, it's interesting. Clemson's 4. After watching this weekend, though, I would move Georgia to 2.
Is Georgia not 2?
They're 3 behind Ohio State.
Oh, Ohio State is 2.
Yeah. I would jump Georgia. That was a dominating performance.
Yeah.
And their quarterback, Stetson, he looked pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So Georgia, it's coming down again to Georgia and Alabama. If I was to predict the playoffs today, I would say Clemson will bounce back because they're in the ACC, and I don't think they'll lose.
Well, Dan, here's the thing. This is the problem. This is the thing that kind of sucks about college football is there's only 4 teams that can even win the national championship this year, and everybody knows it from the beginning, and that just kind of sucks. We can all pretend, and that's not to guarantee that all 4 of those teams make it, but
they're the top 4 right now. They're the top 4.
And I have a feeling this is what I bet. I have a feeling it's going to be the classic sort of thing where Georgia wins the SEC because they play a really easy schedule. They play Bama for the first time in the SEC championship, beat Bama, and then they meet again in the actual title game, and then Bama beats them. It's just going to be some variation of that.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. That's what I would think. And it's it's interesting because Clemson's going to get back in the dance, but Georgia looks
incredible. Ohio State, give Notre Dame credit for being gritty, but Ohio State, I don't know. I don't really like CJ Stroud. I think everybody tries to he's obviously better than the kid at Clemson, DJ Alugalo. I can't ever say his name. He hasn't earned me learning his name yet. It's just, I don't know.
Ogawami or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like Stroud, Ohio State, their receivers are so ridiculous. And however they drop their plays, it's like they always just have wide open receivers streaking out. And, Notre Dame did the Patty Mahomes thing where they just kept 2 safeties high and, he could not just methodically take them down. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting. And then the Big Ten, of course, they beat each other up between Michigan and Penn State, and Michigan State.
Oh yeah, Iowa will have a big win. Wisconsin's gonna clean
Minnesota
up.
is that PJ Fleck still the head coach?
PJ Fleck.
Okay.
Yeah. Bald brethren.
It's interesting. I mean, coming up in a couple of weeks, Cal goes to Notre Dame, which would be pretty interesting because
I know.
I mean, it shouldn't probably be that close, but Justin Wilcox sometimes can get his guys up and ready to play a really good defensive game. The problem, be the offense. But, I haven't I need to talk more to my brother about the Cal team and see what they're like. I do know that they lost. I was talking to him last week. They lost their best defensive player in camp. The guy that he was in some kind of accident where he got run over or something like that and blew out his hip or something. And then he came back, fought his way back, and then he blew his knee out. Bad luck. I can't think of the guy's name. I used to follow Cal, really, really close. I mean,
I remember on my birthday, they technically were going to be they technically were number one in the country for a second because
and they lost to Oregon State.
Oregon State game. Yeah,
that was the game Marshawn Lynch was driving around in the cart, I think.
Yep.
They were going to be number one. They were going to be 5-0. They got upset by Oregon State at home. You look at Cal back in the days with Tedford, they had some players. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Jackson, Marshawn Lynch, J.J. Arrington went on to play with the Cardinals in the NFL. Keenan Allen. They had
Justin Forsett.
They had
C.J. Anderson.
They had back after back after back because their backs coach, I can't remember his name.
I forget his name.
But he was a great offensive running backs coach.
And then that the white safety, was it Chris Conte?
They had him. They had then they had the running back. Yeah, Cam Jordan. They had the running back. They had
some O linemen too.
They had a running back a few years ago that I think he made it on with Tampa or Miami or something. Running back.
Yeah,
Cal was white running back, and he was pretty fast. I'm trying to remember his name.
Toby Gerhart.
No, it wasn't him. It was
Chad Hansen. No, they definitely were pulling some shenanigans.
Back in the they were getting guys in. They were getting guys in. They're having a hard time now because they're. Last year they missed out on a bowl game because one guy was exposed in COVID and they made 30 guys sit out, and they lost to I think it was Arizona, who was only won 1 or 2 games last year.
Yeah.
And all they had to do was win that game. They would have been bowl. They would have made the bowl, but Cal, they got so. I won't get into it, but
and then USC looked good. I mean, that's kind of what you expected. Utah. I mean, I made a lot of bets on Utah to win the Pac-12. I still think they're the class of the Pac-12. I just think that was just kind of an all-time performance from Anthony Richardson.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
But I think Utah is still the class. It just sucks, man. It sucks your year one, game one.
Oh, okay. I knew their quarterback was Plummer, but I didn't even realize that's Jake Plummer's son.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There you go. Oh, Goff even?
Yeah, Goff's there's another number 1 pick. Yeah, Goff.
I was dubious of that from the start.
Yeah. Big Ten really wants Stanford. They won't leave without Cal. 49er says.
I don't know. I don't know because if I'm the Big Ten, I wouldn't mind Stanford. You know, they fit the academic standards. They're a good football team. You'd think that they would. I mean, Oregon has to have the biggest case for, you know, joining Stanford. Cal might get brought along, but
Washington would go.
too.
If you've got if you got Cal, Stanford, the 2 Arizona schools, that's 4. And if
they need to get proactive. They need to merge with the Big 12 or do whatever they got to do.
You could probably keep Colorado and Utah, so that's 6. So why not add BYU 7? Add San Diego State 8. You need, if you want a 12-team conference, who else can you get on the West? You don't even have to. You just stay west of the Mississippi.
You're probably going to have to just get creative and do something like, you know, basketball season. You got Gonzaga and St. Mary's, but football season you got, I don't know, Fresno State or who else is decent?
Yes, you got
California,
Vegas or Reno. Any good in
man? Nevada's poo-poo now. Yeah, UNLV could get better. I don't know. Yeah, need to be proactive. West. It's.
Yeah, it's hard to say. There's not a lot on the West, really. I mean, Wyoming, where Josh Allen, didn't he go to Wyoming?
Yeah. It's not really much different than the Big Ten. Imagine if Ohio State, you know, was what USC has been for the last 15 years, and UCLA or Michigan was what UCLA was. That conference would be in the same situation because it's nobody likes to say it, but you know, Bama, Georgia, those teams, you know, they run the SEC. Ohio State keeps the lights on for the Big Ten, Michigan to an extent, USC and UCLA kept the lights on for the Pac-12. So, you know, I mean, it's tough because now the head's chopped off. I mean, if you chop,
I've heard that they may try to, the regents or something may try to block UCLA from leaving the University of California system. I don't know. Something like that I've heard.
Oh, or maybe like you got to bring Cal with us or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe just block him from leaving because it's the University of California.
Good night, thanks, and say hi to Larry the slacker. LOL.
Yeah, Larry, you're lazy. Do you hear me? Larry, you're lazy, man. Come on. It's your own show. You're lazy, Larry. Never going to make it, Larry. Dang lazy.
Oh, shoot. I didn't realize it was 12:16.
Yeah, time to go, man. Larry's sleeping, man. That guy's lazy. I'm going to wake him up at 4 a.m. Better be on your porch, Larry.
I'm like developing. I'm like sitting on the top of my bed. And even though this is the coolest spot in the house, my ass cheeks are just so sweaty. And I'm so worried that I'm going to have like a puddle of ass sweat just that I have to sleep in tonight.
Did we just put that one up?
Yeah.
Good night. Thanks. Say hi to Larry the slacker. Yeah, Larry. He's slacking, man. He's slacking. I want you on that porch at 4:15. I'll be right there. Don't make me get out of that car and come up to your door, Larry. You're lazy.
Oh, wow. Dan, that's the second completes. Good night.
Oh, man. Well, it's a good night. Giants 4 in a row, beat the Dodgers. You know, it would be just like the Giants to sweep the Dodgers right now. And just like,
it's going to happen.
All of a sudden, they're like 6 out with 25 to go, 26 left. And everybody's like, oh, here they come. You don't want the Giants in the playoffs this year because then it's like, oh, see, we had it in us all year. We just got off to a late start. And then they do nothing, and they bring back this crew again.
Larry really does not have it. Well, so he has AC in his house, but his home studio is like connected to his garage, and it's just a hot box, like, covered in carpet. That's, at least I don't have carpet on the walls in my little setup, but
hey, Larry,
carpet
Larry, you got to put in one of those.
Larry, you're sweaty.
Those mini splits, Larry. You're lazy, man. You put one of those mini splits in, you sleep like a baby.
Oh God. All right. On that note, I mean, I don't know. Do you want to? Maybe we don't. It's fine. This was kind of a little show. We probably don't have to run it.
We probably. Well,
should we? Yeah,
we probably should.
We should.
We'll run the ads and then we'll come back and we'll close it. And you got the ads right. Go ahead and
with one more fun thought. Where are they?
Well, Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use telmetrics.co, Telmetrix.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com, or at his number, 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Dan Coccimilgio and all the people at Secure Money for being proud sponsors of the Krueg Show.
Oh, I forgot I had to. Oh, now I'm sitting all centrally. All right.
What happened?
I'm so used to them just continuously going when Larry does them, but I forgot that I need to click the next one. All right, here we go.
And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com, often imitated, never equaled. And they are a proud sponsor of the Krueg Show. Thanks to them as well.
All right, I am absolutely lifting a cheek. No, oh, Buster. All right, now, Squally.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
All right, that's great. By the way, I'd love to hear what people think of this. Do you think, oh, sausage, 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 sausage shirt? Oh, that's awesome. I've only got the polo.
Hey, I didn't eat. You know, I didn't do my usual customary eating tonight.
Yeah.
So I got to bring out a little food.
Oh, the watermelon. You know what, Dan? My okay, so quickly, maybe this is my last point. Okay, so like I remember when I was in school with at UCSB, and for anybody that's been to Isla Vista, it's like, you know, it's a different kind of place. It's like Disneyland for, I don't know, 18, for like 18 to 22, sort of. I mean, it's you know, it's got its grimy side, but you know, when you just kind of get used to it, and then, you know, every once in a while I'd be like, you know, I have not seen an adult that is not working like at a restaurant or, you know, teaching a class. I have not seen an adult, like, in months would go by. And then when your parents would come to visit, what would happen is you'd start to like see the school through their eyes. And it's like, oh my God, like you kind of realize like, okay, there's a guy walking across the street holding a bong. There's a guy, you know, he's got two 30 packs and he's on a skateboard and he's ripping a vape pen. You know, it's like, okay, now I'm like getting nervous because I want my parents to like the school I'm at and show them that everything, I'm good and I'm responsible. Oh, wow. I can't believe I just somewhat lost my train of thought. Wait, where was I going with that?
About the school?
But it had a good destination. What was
late.
the?
It's 12:25.
Yeah, that was that. I had something, but I was
fart.
not. Yeah, complete brain fart was not. I got distracted. I saw a fly, and then now my brain's dead. Well, Dan, you have a last thought, and maybe I can think.
While you're thinking on that, you know, it's interesting. We got fantasy football starting. I don't know who out there was watching in our draft a little over a week ago, but it was my first crack at doing the fantasy football and the draft. And I honestly thought the draft was going to be like a board, and that we were all looking at the same board, and that everybody's going to go, I'll take Jonathan Taylor. Okay. And I got my list, cross him off. He's no longer available. I'll take, Cooper Kupp. Oh, okay. I thought, you get 1 minute pick. I had no idea it was going to be digital and all.
You thought it'd be real tactile.
And it was just like flying. And then I wasn't set up to, I didn't even know it was going to be like that. So I didn't know that you had to log in previously and get ready to go, and everybody. So all 11 teams, and then there's 12 in the other league. So 23 of the 24 teams were all set but me. And Ryan and who was it that was also helping me in the – it was Nick Martinez was giving me some help. And everybody's like working through, and I'm like getting it, and Larry's just busting my chops and laughing. And so the first pick, I didn't get in before 6. So fortunately it made the computer made the choice for me. So everybody had the names that the computer gave us. Mine was Dan's Dandy Team or something like that. Well, I changed my name last night. I went in and changed my name. And I even came up with a logo, Rye.
Uh-huh.
But I couldn't get my logo. It says I think the commissioner has to approve it to put it in. I was going to put it on the helmet, and everything. But I am now
really?
Yeah, I am now no longer Dan's Dynamic Team or whatever the heck it was called. I am the Tech Savvy Stormtroopers. Look out, fantasy football, and the Krueger Rams. I'm coming after you all, the tech savvy stormtroopers.
Dan,
That's right.
You're like, trust me, I totally know technology. Look at me with my hip references to sci-fi entertainment. 1970 Star Wars. Oh God.
Yeah, I did these logos. I tried to pirate some logos off the internet, and I thought it wasn't taking them. So I kind of went in and did I said, well, maybe that's why it's not working. So I drew up my own logo.
I think that. Oh, you did.
I drew up my own logo, Rye.
You should take a picture of it with your phone and then send it to me, and then I can put it as your logo.
I did. Let me see what's going on. Oh, here we go. Okay, it actually accidentally got deleted today, but I think it's still in my delete file. Hopefully, yeah, there it is. Okay, take a look at some of these logos that I had come up with. The TS for tech savvy, and then
I'm not gonna make the joke because
look at that.
You know what?
Crown them.
Did you? Okay, Dan. Here's the thing, man. Did you search TS on the internet?
I think.
Then you went Google Images.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I think you're lucky that your safe search is on, and that is a code name. You could look it up for later, but it tends to bring some other type stuff up. I'll just leave it at that.
Some bad stuff.
It's whatever you're into, man. But it's some.
I thought that logo looked pretty cool for a football helmet.
Wow, what is
T and
oh, that is sick. That's like that's like some Curry stuff.
Yeah. So my stuff is really weak. I am not artistic at all. So check this logo out. Now, don't laugh. I kind of took it off of a little bit of the San Francisco Giants, a little bit, and it's just corny. I am not artistic. So there's TS, and it's like the arrows going each way and the arrows on the S going up and down. And our motto is, we'll kick your ass upside down and sideways.
You need uniforms. Oh God.
Yeah, the tech savvy stormtroopers are coming after you. Does that logo scare you?
We're so tech savvy that my photo is actually just a drawing I doodled on a piece of paper.
Because I thought some of those cooler logos wouldn't. I thought maybe because I was taking them from the internet, they wouldn't load up on Yahoo, so I couldn't get it to load up on the helmet. It said upload. Gosh. I uploaded it. It put it inside the helmet, but when I went to select it as my, as save, it wouldn't work. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So, tech savvy stormtroopers, the guys that know nothing about anything going on in the digital world.
Dan, you should just shorten it to TS Stormtroopers. I think that's a better name.
Oh, tech savvy. We're tech savvy because I'm tech savvy because
we're gonna storm your ass.
Yeah, I'm tech savvy because I know nothing technical at all.
You're so
nothing.
You literally are so not tech savvy that you're the most tech savvy.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Wow. So, I can't believe I blew that. I had a whole analogy and everything. Well, maybe it'll come back to me later. I think, my brain just kind of turned off because I'm now facing the fan, and so the fan is blowing into my eyeballs and into my tongue, and now I have a dry face and mouth. Anyway, wow. There's stories be going on about Isla Vista in here. It's a crazy place, man. It's you gotta be pretty responsible and sort of know what you're getting into. I'll tell you what, I would never send my kid down there if he wanted to go to the community college. That it's like 20 minutes away by bus, and it's just too easy to be like, screw it, I'll stay in.
Yeah.
And rip a bone.
Well, anyway, it's time to get out of here. What are we gonna close with tonight? Do we got anything good to close with? Do we? Oh, it's too bad we didn't have that. You know what? We don't. It was on the
HOA.
show the other night. That was so classic when we had after Jock's home run and we had the crowd chanting Larry
I
Krueger again.
know. I know.
How about in the elevator? They're chanting Larry Krueger.
Oh, I
Larry
know.
Krueger in the elevator. That was hilarious.
Okay. All right. Kyle McKiernan says, just gonna go Giants, Dan. Close on that. All right. 1,
Yeah.
2,
I'm not
3.
going to say it because they lose.
Go Giants.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Careful, whatever you bring me getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at.